Hello, welcome back. Thank you all for your lovely gracious comments on my previous video. They were massively appreciated. I've turned the dungeon green for you all today, so I hope you appreciate that. We haven't done green yet, I don't think, so it's very Slytherin vibes, and believe it or not, I am a Slytherin, allegedly. Thank you also to this person who commented and let me know that that little line, "It's not going to work," is Hermione Granger in the Goblet of Fire movie when Fred and George are trying to put their names into the Goblet of Fire. So thank you for that. Today we're going to watch another Let's Talk from Amberlynn Reid. This one is called I Can't Believe I'm Sharing This, The Truth and Traumatizing Memory as a Child. Let's Talk episode 10. I'm interested in the title of this one because she said, I can't believe I'm sharing this. Guaranteed it will be something that we can all believe she's sharing, I imagine, because she's shared literally everything you can possibly think of, regardless of whether it's true or not. So I'm very curious to find out what she's shared. Also, the truth about what? Amberlynn Reid is not the source that I personally go to when it's truth that I'm seeking, but alas, we will see if I'm wrong about that, and her traumatizing memory as a child, and that part is probably going to be sad. So let's find out what she's got in store for us today. It's only 13 minutes, this Let's Talk, which is 10 whole minutes less than her previous Let's Talk and most of her Let's Talks. I'm curious why this one is so much shorter. I do have the sense that we're kind of getting towards the end of her patience with her own YouTube schedule, and I imagine at some point, if not soon-ish, she will eventually go back to her normal video style, which was just like random videos whenever she felt like making them, which will make her harder to react to because we won't know when she's going to upload. But it will also maybe be a good thing because, I mean, 10 whole minutes less. I wonder what she's cut out. Maybe it's like less voice notes. I don't know. Okay, let's find out what truth Amber's going to reveal to us today. Here we go.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to another Let's Talk video.
Thank you.
Let's get right into sweet and sour.
Let's.
Boris W8B said, "We love you." And I love you guys too.
The struggle to not repeat myself when I watch Amber's content is so high, but she does this a lot, saying I love you to her audience. I personally have always just found it kind of weird because, first of all, she doesn't love her audience. She hates us. Like, she really does hate us. I mean, she loves that we pay her bills, but she absolutely hates us. If you watch my previous video, you've seen the clip where she goes, so what if I gaslight my audience? And I think she truly does feel that way. She does not care if she gaslights her audience whatsoever. She doesn't love us. If she could stop being a YouTuber, she would. She hates us. Don't fucking fall for it. We are not falling for it in this house. YouTubers don't love their audience. They don't know their audience. I really appreciate my audience, and I'm so grateful that we get to watch Amber and enjoy this kind of content together. You guys DM me and send me really interesting stuff, and I appreciate that, and I love talking to you, and I'm sure if I got to know you, I would grow some real affection for you as individuals, and I have grown affection for lots of you guys as individuals who've messaged me on Instagram. My Instagram's @RachelThePython. Somebody has even sent me their dissertation for their masters, which I'm currently reading. It's fantastic, by the way, if you're watching this. 12 seconds in, and I'm already chatting shit. Okay, let's give Amber a chance to tell us some stuff.
Tavoli said, "You are the worst person in the world."
How dramatic.
I think that's a bit drastic. Positivity.
Oh, it's so funny when she does that, man. It really actually annoys me when people send in these short little messages that are not actually good feedback. Being like, you're the worst person in the world is not helpful, constructive feedback, especially not for somebody like Amber. And it's brilliant for her because she can use comments like that and be like, see, everyone hates me. I'm the worst person in the world.
Always Win said, "The food journal is so smart."
I'm pretty sure this account, is it this one? I think it is. People are claiming that it's Amber's sock account and that this is her because she's been in Chantal's live stream. Chantal's Foodie Beauty, by the way, who I've never seen any content from. Might watch some stuff, but I think it might be like a bit too brain rotty even for me. But I think it was this account that was saying really nice things in Chantal's live stream, and everyone seems to think that this account is Amber. Very curious if that's true.
For your health journey, Amberlynn. Thank you. I definitely appreciate that. And yes, positivity always wins.
It's so funny when she does this fake positive thing. She is the most negative, moany fucking person. Particularly if you watch the live streams, you'll see, you know, she's a grumpy bitch. She's not positive, and it's very funny when she does this fake positive show for us all. Find it quite fascinating.
Bonnie2025 said, "Positive thoughts can help you stay on track. Keep the momentum going with the positivity." I thought that was so crazy that these two comments were back to back.
Yeah,
it was like,
that is crazy. If it was true, that would be fucking insane. How weird would that be, right? Almost like the universe is trying to send you a message, except that it's not random, and you definitely clicked and clicked and clicked and clicked and clicked until you saw multiple nice comments. If you go to Amber's videos or posts or wherever it is that she's getting these comments from, there are not that many nice comments at all. So just as a number of averages, just as the law of numbers, if you click through random comments, most likely you're going to get rude, nasty ones, because that's what most of her comment sections are full of. So the likelihood that she would get not only 2 nice comments, but 2 comments that mention positivity randomly generated in a row is so low that I think it's basically 0.
The universe was telling me, Amberlynn,
That's funny.
You have supporters out there, you have positivity, keep up the affirmations.
Yeah, I mean, Charles Manson had supporters out there. Hitler had supporters out there. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying there's a fair comparison to be drawn between Charles Manson and Amberlynn Reid, not at all, but I'm just making the general point that everyone has supporters, no matter how much of a dick you are. Andrew Tate has supporters. Andrew Tate has millions of supporters. So it's not a flex to have supporters. That doesn't mean really anything. I'm just saying, like, I'm just saying.
Thank you so much, Delani. Cracked iPod screen 2007 said, she's stoned. She's not.
Oh, the third person just gives me the fucking ick. There's also been this drama with her live streams where she came onto this, you would have seen it already, but she came onto her live streams, which are supposed to be members only. People are paying, including myself, to see the members only live streams. And Amber's been threatening for a long time to try and make these members only live streams public. And then the other day, was it Tuesday night? I'm filming this on a Friday. She accidentally went live publicly instead of just to her members. And there's a stupid 5-minute video where she's giggling and acting like a fucking child.
I did not mean to do that.
And in my opinion, having been around lots of people who are high on multiple things, I firmly believe she was probably stoned on Delta 8 during that, despite telling us all that she doesn't vape Delta 8 anymore. So we just have to wait, and eventually she will bait herself out and reveal that she in fact has been vaping Delta 8, which we all know she has anyway. But it's just always a tiny bit satisfying when we can catch her in a lie like that. Also, speaking of catching her in a lie, she was caught just absolutely outright fucking chatting shit about her thyroid in her recent What I Eat in a Day, or was it, no, in her recent weigh-in or whatever. In this video here, I'll put it here, she basically says that she hasn't been tested for her thyroid since she was 15, which is hilarious.
Why didn't you know you had hyperthyroidism in the past? So usually your doctor decides what labs they want done based on the things that you guys talk about. That appointment was very hyper-focused on weight loss because I was talking to him about Zepbound, and I was telling him about how difficult it was for me to lose weight. Like, he knows about my lipedema, my lymphedema, my menopause, hysterectomy, etc., etc. He knows about all that, but he was like, when's the last time you've had your thyroid checked? And I was like, when I was 15, because that is the last time. And when I had it checked when I was 15, like, it was fine. And he was like, oh, we should probably check that.
And then, of course, true to form, everybody in the Amberverse found all of these instances where she's talking about having her thyroid checked. I'll chuck a few of them here.
So this is just all of the information about my blood. I did a fasting test, and no, I do not have diabetes. And no, nothing is wrong with my thyroid. Nothing is wrong in any of those senses. So I took a bunch of tests, yada, yada, yada. Turns out everything is fine. All my tests came back normal. No thyroid issue. A lot of you were wondering, or actually saying, you know, you probably have diabetes. And it's like, I 100% agree. I thought I did too. But after the test came back, my thyroid's perfect. I do not have diabetes. So they're going to be able to look at my liver, my gallbladder. They're going to be able to check for diabetes if I have a thyroid problem. There are so many other reasons why it's hard for people to lose weight. And it's like, some people have thyroid problems. Thankfully, I don't.
So just kind of suspicious and funny and strange, you know, why lie? She baffles me so much. Why lie about something that's so easy to check? Very weird. Is she like, I don't know, did she forget? Could it be that she just forgot what she said in the past? Or, I don't know, was she lying then and now she's being honest? It's very confusing, but yeah, another lie from Amber. So just to put that on your radar, you know, it's never surprising anymore. But, well, actually, that's not true. I was about to say it's never surprising anymore when she lies, but it still does surprise me. It actually genuinely still does, especially when it's about something that will be so easy to check. Let's see what else she comes out with in this video, shall we?
You guys, now it is time for Sippin' Community.
Oh my god, the timing, how cute. This is actually coffee, but sipping communi coffee.
Why did you quit therapy again? I didn't. So why aren't you worried about worms and the ice you love from Chick-fil-A? You know it's made with sink water. My anxiety does not pick and choose where it wants to anxiety.
Oh, that was obnoxious. Absolutely true that anxiety doesn't pick and choose when it wants to activate or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. She thinks it's so quirky to have like problems with normal things like sink water. It's also frustrating when she does this for people who genuinely do have anxiety or whatever it is that she's kind of claiming that she's got in these videos. I always feel for people because she makes it look so silly and so, I don't know, like almost illogical and stupid when there are people who really do struggle with these things that would watch this content and feel that they're being represented here and it's not very fair on them. I mean, then again, she's just sharing her own experience, I suppose. It's not so bad with anxiety, but when she does it about BPD and I'm sure soon hypothyroidism, it's going to be really frustrating for those viewers who have those things as well and who struggle every day with those symptoms and then just feel that Amber is approaching it flippantly or in a way that makes it look almost, I don't know, silly or mockable or something. I don't really know what the right word is for it there, but there's something kind of frustrating about that. I think if I had BPD and I saw Amber trying to make herself into the poster child for that diagnosis, I would be very fucking frustrated.
Hear the scale speak again. So no matter which way I weigh myself, like people don't believe it. So I figured, why put in the effort to film that if no one believes it?
Hang on a second. Wait, I'm going to scroll back and just watch that bit again. Sorry, guys.
When will we hear the scale speak again? So no matter which way I weigh myself, like people don't believe it. So I figured, why put in the effort to film that if no one believes it?
That would be a convincing argument, but it sounds to me like laziness. You know, the audience want your content to be credible. They want to interact with your content and feel that they're actually seeing something genuine, that's somebody's real experience. And we know you lie all the time. So if there's something you could do to prove that this one specific part of your experience is not a lie, that would be really valuable to your viewers. It would be nice to hear the scale and know, oh yeah, shit, that actually is how much she weighs. So I think probably what's more likely is if she isn't lying about her weigh-ins, then it's just fucking lazy that she's not using the scale that speaks the number out loud. But what's more likely is that she is lying about her weigh-ins and that's why she's not using the scale. Hello, Editing Rachel here. On April the 12th of 2019, when Amberlynn was claiming to be 570 pounds, she posted this video here called Why Won't I Weigh In? In this video, Amber claims that she prefers to say her weight directly to the camera rather than show her weigh-in because she finds it less embarrassing.
So there have been a lot of just like people telling me, you know, do a weigh-in on camera, do a live weigh-in. We want to know what your weight really is because we don't believe you and just all this stuff. And that hurts me a lot that people don't believe when I say I am 570 when the last time I weighed myself. So I kind of just want to sit here and explain why I haven't done a weigh-in on camera. I think it's just a lot easier for me to just be like, yeah, I'm 570 versus stepping on the scale for you guys and you guys seeing that number for yourself because it is embarrassing. I am very much ashamed.
This, however, makes no sense as an argument because if her goal is to not be embarrassed, then either way, we're going to find out her weight, whether she says it to us on camera or whether we see her weighing herself. She then goes on to describe how she's buying this new scale that says the weight out loud.
So I tried to think of ways where I can prove myself more and prove that I'm not lying, and I couldn't come up with anything. And then my friend actually texted me. She texted me a link and she was like, I'm gonna buy this scale. And it's actually a scale for us really big folk. And the best part about it, there's no tear, so I won't be, you know, getting accused of doing that. And also the scale talks. It says the weight out loud. It's ready. So I will be able to film myself, but you guys will be able to hear my weight out loud because the scale says it.
This scale is the one that she's got now, and she's saying to us here that she's happy she's got a scale which says the weight out loud because that way nobody can say that she's lying. However, 6 years later in the video we're watching right now, Amber says that people still don't believe her weigh-ins either way, even if they're said out loud by the scale. There's also this clip where she claims that she weighs in naked, which is why she's not showing her weigh-ins.
Why don't you show the scale anymore? I weigh myself naked.
However, if you'll forgive me for being pedantic, in this video from March 5th, 2020, Amber describes how easy it is for her to weigh herself naked and show the scale at the same time because she simply props the camera up.
And as you guys know, I like to weigh myself naked. Showing the actual like number is fine because I prop it up as I'm standing on the other side of the camera naked so you guys don't see. That's how I was able to get the shot in my last weigh-in video.
I popped all of this in here just to make it really clear to you guys why I tend to err on the side of Amber's lying, and if she doesn't like that, once again, she's got no one to blame but herself.
You recognize Bieber's addiction but not yours. I definitely do. Girl, what about that filter?
That was about the vlog. I'll put a clip here just in case I don't react to it, but there's this insufferable part of this vlog where she's pointing out how we've all been watching Justin Bieber struggle with addiction, and it's extremely interesting because it's somebody projecting so unbelievably heavily, and it's so fascinating to watch. So I'll put it here.
You guys, I am genuinely so sad for Justin Bieber. I have always been a fan of him. And you know, I've been seeing clips of him and you can just tell he's really going through it. And it looks like he's struggling with addiction. And I think what really made me be like, yeah, that's exactly what's happening, is the clip of SZA bringing him out at her show, and it's just heartbreaking. And there's like so many people watching that and like not realizing that we are watching someone like literally struggle right before our eyes.
It's interesting, isn't it, hearing her say the very thing about Justin which we all feel about her. It was just such an interesting insight, and it very much reminded me of that clip where I've put it in a previous video where she's talking about how she sees this other fat girl at dinner when she's out, and she has all these thoughts and feelings about this fat girl. She doesn't identify that she's projecting her thoughts and feelings about herself onto this woman, and it's very interesting to see her do it again about Justin Bieber. Guys, I know you probably don't care, but that background audio from my laptop fan is so loud, and I'm so sorry if you can hear it and it's ruining the video. I'll fix whatever's making it do it in my future video, I promise. If it's bothering you, I'm so sorry. It's probably more likely that me apologising for it is bothering you, but it's really bothering me as I'm filming. But anyway, there's nothing we can do about it, so sip, let's just carry on.
Filter for the 5-gallon of water, you don't do anything right. So I think you're referring to the fact that I bought a Brita filter and I now have a Walla water bottle. So I have a hernia, and people with hernias should not lift up to 15 pounds, even though I do it. But the 5-gallon water is 41 pounds. I do not want to hurt myself. Like, I genuinely would hurt myself trying to lift that. So I figured,
I find her water bottle, like, lore very boring. Don't care about the water bottle, don't care about the water filter, don't care about the tap, whatever. Like, you're entitled, oh, I've just poured coffee on my knee. You're entitled that you're able to have options of what kind of water you drink, and you should be grateful and consider yourself lucky. And I think that should be everyone's stance who lives in a way where there's multiple types of water that they have the option to drink. You're fantastically wealthy and lucky just having that alone. This hernia is also interesting. I'm very curious why she's never had her hernia looked into. I do know that a hernia is when one of your organs, I think, pushes out through gaps in your connective tissue or in your, I don't know if it's fat or muscle or what. So that must be quite uncomfortable and painful for her. And I would imagine she would want to have that surgically repaired. So it's a shame that she hasn't lost the weight and had that done. I wonder if there's a weight limit for that kind of elective surgery. So I'm very curious, and I don't know if a surgeon would perform that kind of elective surgery on somebody of this weight without like a real medical necessity. That's kind of interesting to me.
like, I genuinely would hurt myself trying to lift that. So I figured, why not just use sink water and have a Brita filter? Why didn't you show your Chipotle in your what I ate today video? So if you go back and watch my vlog, you hear me say I just ordered Chipotle. I'm actually about to film a what I ate today video. And then the next day, I literally said, oh, I did not film the what I ate today video. I decided to film it today. All right, you guys, now it is time for the interview.
Hi, Amberlynn. I'm wondering if you would ever go to church with MamaLynn again. It seems like she has really benefited from that community, and do you think you could also benefit from it?
It's very fascinating, and I found this in my life, how churches are a fantastic place to have community, to meet people and get support. If you're, or any kind of walk of life that you live in, there is something wonderfully powerful about being in a church community. I've known some fantastically generous and kind people who operate in a church kind of environment. There are also some absolute fantastic bigots in the same exact communities, but that's not because they're Christians, that's because there's cunts everywhere, right? There's lovely people and awful people in every type of people. That's just the way it is to be a human. Curious to see if she gives us any interesting insights with this this question. I'm fascinated, absolutely fascinated by God and church and faith and all that stuff. It's a bit of me, so let's see if she says anything interesting here.
I also just want to say that you're my favorite YouTuber and I really love your videos.
Aww,
there's that compliment.
That means a lot. And if my mom was going to church and she invited me, of course I would go. But no, I don't think I would benefit from it in the way that you'd probably think. I like going to like support my mom. And
I'm curious what way she thinks that this person thinks that she would benefit from it, because even as a person who doesn't believe in God, you can benefit from being in a church environment. Singing in a group is extremely good for your mental health. It would be fascinating to see how Amber would feel if she went and got stuck in with something like that. I'd love to see some church content from Amber. I'd absolutely love to see her bopping in the stands and doing a little two-step. Anyway, possible I've gone on a tangent.
Yeah, it is very empowering to go to the church that actually my mom goes to sometimes. It's actually like the biggest kind of most fascinating church I've ever seen in my life. But I am agnostic, and I'm more than likely going to stay that way.
I'd love to know what she means by it's empowering to go to that church. And when she says it's big, is she talking about the building is big, or is it one of these like mega churches? Because I know in the States, and also I think some here, but mainly in America, there are these huge mega churches with like thousands and thousands of people that go to them. And I can imagine it would be an amazing experience to stand in a church that size. I'd love to do that. I might make a separate video one day. You guys, I don't know, should I make like a second channel or like memberships or something where I can talk about all the other stuff that's not girl world, because I have so much to say about like all kinds of different things. That's maybe where I should keep this kind of content to. But anyway, she's agnostic, so am I. I love it when me and Amberlynn Reid match. She's such a good girl, having the same opinions as me.
Hi Amberlynn, I've been a fan of you forever. I've been watching you for years now. And I remember when you had an era where you used to play Fortnite and game a lot, and I was just curious if you would ever start a stream on Twitch or even during your members' lives when you would be Fortnite Lynn or Gamer Lynn. Just curious. I would totally watch. Love you.
I love these little like Fortnite Lynn. I love these Victim Lynn and Gaslighter Lynn. I find them very funny. I don't know why.
Oh, I've actually thought about it. So I would never go to Twitch. Never really been a Twitch girly. I think I've been to twitch.com maybe once in my life.
Lie. That's a lie. She's been to twitch.com many times to have a little stalk of Zachary Michael's live streams. She's lying, I think. Anyway, could be wrong, could be wrong. I love that though. She loves putting in a little message, a little short one-liner, which helps to kind of back up the fact that, I don't know, some other point she's trying to make, like by saying that, which is a very interesting thing to say. She's secretly letting us all know that she's never watched Zachary Michael's Twitch streams, which we all know is not true. But anyway, it's just funny.
So if I ever was to do something like that, it would definitely be in my members' live.
Sorry, just to correct for you guys, if I ever were to do something like that, you wouldn't say was. I will let some of these go, but loads of you guys comment and let me know that you appreciate the grammar corrections. Then again, I sometimes fuck up my grammar as well in these videos, so I'm by no means the be all and end all of correct grammar, but sorry, sometimes I can't let them go.
And you guys, speaking of video games, I'm so excited for Grand Theft Auto 6. You have no idea.
Why is she trying to be me? Why do you want to be me, Amberlynn? Listen, I know I'm cool. I know I'm frigging awesome as fuck. I know I'm gay, which just makes me super awesome immediately. I'm taking the piss, guys. I'm sorry. I'm joking. But I am also so excited for GTA 6. And I think that sometimes me and Amber have too many things in common and it makes me a little bit uncomfortable.
Hello, Amber. I'm a long-time viewer and I'm so happy I got the chance to ask you anything. I'm sorry for any mess-ups. I'm nervous.
Aww.
So my question is, if you or somebody else was about to write a book about your life, what would be the first and the last line? So That's it. I love you lots.
There's so many things you could say. If I was writing a book about Amberlynn Reid, the first line would be something like, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I just sat here for like a full maybe 2.5 minutes trying to think of what that line would be. And even though I like writing and I'm an okay writer, could not think of anything. So let's see what she says. No way is she going to think of anything good.
Bye. Bye. Wow. I actually don't know the first line. But I'm telling you, I tried to start a whole like book about my life. This was a long time ago. And I started writing it. I did one chapter and I was just bawling. Like the pain, it was just too much for me. So I actually started it with one of my earliest memories ever, which was
I'm going to pause for a second here because I think she's about to tell us what one of her earliest memories is. I have seen this video before, but I think a story written by Amberlynn Reid about her life would be a very interesting thing to read. However, I almost feel that through Amberlynn Reid's channel, we have a story of her life. It's just that rather than being written down, it's been recorded verbally into an iPhone. What we've seen throughout the building of this narrative over time, with each video being a chapter, if you like, is that she's an incredibly unrelatable narrator in her own life, which makes her fascinating, but it also means that this book that she would write would be a work of fiction. Although I think Amber definitely shouldn't do that to share her story, it probably would be very powerful for her to write these things down.
It's super traumatic for me, and this isn't talking bad about my mom. It's my story too. I just know a lot of people think that like I'm talking badly about my mom when I'm just like sharing my story like from when I was a child, and that's
Sharing my story is a very clever way to say negative things and private things about other people. Saying I'm just sharing my story is extremely clever as a way to be like, well, I'm going to tell you this bad thing that somebody else did, but because it affected me, it's just me sharing my story. And it's the same thing that Beck did when they shared their story about Amber, and it's completely fine. You can do it, but you can't do it and then say, I'm now completely free of any consequences that may come from me doing that. You are still responsible for the consequences. Although it's your story which you choose to tell, you're still responsible for the outcome. So yes, you can share your story and say whatever you like about your mum, but it doesn't mean that it isn't going to make your mum look really bad. So those two things will happen at the same time. You can't say, oh, I'm sharing my story, and that makes it completely fine. You have to be careful with, I'm just sharing my story. Yeah, you are, but at the same time, you're responsible for what comes of that. And I think sometimes Amber doesn't seem to show understanding for the responsibility that comes with that. But funnily enough, she does understand it when it's Beck doing it about her. So I just think that's kind of funny. Anyway, let's let her carry on.
Definitely not the case at all. But it was about a time when I was literally like 4 years old, and I remember this like crisp as ever. I went to like this random back alley in some random car, and I was in the back seat in the middle. My mom came in on this side, and some random guy, never heard of him before, never seen him before, he came in through the other side on this side, and my mom was like, close your eyes, and then like she covered my eyes, but like I did not close my eyes, and I could still see like down here. And it was my first ever like drug deal. I was like 4 years old. I saw it right in front of me. It was weird. It was sketch.
I feel so many mixed feelings about this, goodness gracious. So the fact that that happened to her, if it's true, of course, and I caveat everything she says with if it's true, then that is heavy. That's pretty heavy. The thought of a mother exposing her child to an environment like that. And listen, look what's happening right now. Amber's shared her story, which is fine. It's her story to tell. But here I am now looking sideways at MamaLynn because of what Amber has shared. So that's a direct effect of Amber's own sharing. So I'm just pointing that out because I think it's interesting. What horrendous, awful parenting from MamaLynn. And I know people living with addiction do all kinds of things, and I get addiction is incredibly difficult, especially on families. I'm not trying to judge MamaLynn in a way, but at the same time we can sit on the facts, which is that if that's the kind of environment that Amberlynn was in when she was growing up, it's no wonder she's got all kinds of additional problems. The vulnerable position that her mum was willing to put her in, just in that story alone, is quite telling about what kind of childhood she probably had. And if this story was true, which I feel that perhaps it is true, actually, I don't know, maybe it's not, maybe she's saying it to make MamaLynn look bad. People go back and forth about Amber and whether, how evil really is she? Is she saying all of this to try and get the heat off bad things she's done and make herself look like a victim and make her childhood look really awful and make her mum look really bad and, get the heat off her? Maybe that is what she's doing. I don't know. It's so hard to know how to take what she says. But if we do take it at face value, that story is incredibly sad.
Scary. But that was like my first ever introduction to like the drug world.
Hey girl, so my friend Karen and I and my sister Ilsa have been watching you for years, like actual years. So hopefully I get picked.
You did.
I know in this last video that you posted, you said that you were thinking of not posting what I ate today and weighing videos anymore. On, I believe it was episode 10. But is there like a specific video that you love to record? I don't know. I just feel like you really enjoy.
I'm so sorry if you're watching this, but these voice notes drive me mad. Why are you taking so long to ask such a simple question? I don't know if it's me being impatient. I'm a fast talker. Maybe it's just me. But this like slow cognitive processing speed of speaking, I mean, maybe that's not what it is. Maybe I'm a bitch actually for saying that. Perhaps it's not slow cognitive processing. It might just be that you're thinking about what you say before you say it, which is a good thing. But I don't know. I find it a bit annoying. Like, I'm out with it. That's kind of the way I think anyway. But sorry if that's horrible. Let's see what she says.
Making those videos. And I honestly think you shouldn't really care about what the haters say. you know,
Right.
you should just post them, girl. Bye, love you.
It's very hard not to care what people say about you. I will say that. It is hard.
I love you. I actually do love filming any sort of video, a weigh-in, a what I ate today, a vlog, let's talk, Q&A, like, it doesn't matter what type of video it is. I genuinely love it. And it's easier said than done, like trying to ignore the haters. It's just like certain topics are just like, they shouldn't be touched. They shouldn't be.
Okay, a few things. So the first thing is ignoring the haters is, so the problem is, if a person leaves a comment on your video and it's telling you that what you've done is stupid, what you think is stupid, look, hey, here's something you said in the past and it doesn't line up with this. If it points out your hypocrisy or your bullshit or your lack of character, those are the kinds of comments that are harder to read because they're true. If somebody says to me, clearly you're just stupid and you're not educated, I'll be like, okay, because I don't give a fuck, because I know that's not true, right? But if someone says to me, you're a bad friend and sometimes you don't reach out to your friends enough and you're too independent and you don't show enough affection for the people that you love, I would be like, oh my God, you fucking hit me in the feels, right? Critique that's true is so much more painful to receive than critique that isn't true. And Amber, the problem with Amber is that the critique that she gets is mainly all true, which is what makes it so hard to take. The way that she avoids taking it is by putting all of that genuine, real critique into a pile with all of the haters and saying, oh, it's all just hate. So then she ignores everything. And you can do that, but you will just never grow. So I think that's exactly what the situation Amber's in, right? She hasn't changed, she hasn't grown, and I think partially it's because she is incapable of accepting valid criticism.
Messed with. I feel like people are just way too.
Oh, the other thing I was going to say was, she goes, oh, I think that some topics just shouldn't be messed with, but you're the one who puts it on the internet. If you don't want a topic to be messed with, don't put it on YouTube. As soon as you upload a video to YouTube of you talking about a certain topic, in my opinion, it's fair game then. If you've put it on YouTube, then people are free to talk about it. You've put it on the platform. You know what might happen. You're inviting criticism. You're inviting critique. You're inviting commentary, whether it's nice or not nice. She's talking here about her weigh-in and her what I eat in a day videos, saying that those topics should not be touched is absolute bullshit, because if you don't want them touched, don't put them on the internet, which is exactly what she does with her foster care story. She knows if I don't want people talking about it, I won't talk about it myself. So she does understand the concept. She's just being ignorant here.
Judgmental. And it's like, I get it. Everyone has an opinion, but it's like, it doesn't make your opinion right. It doesn't make your opinion okay, especially when.
Absolutely, absolutely. Everyone has an opinion. We're all just humans who have had a varied mixture of experiences which have formed us into the kind of people that we are, that believe the kinds of things that we believe. The most important thing as a human is, rather than saying, I'm going to ignore this evidence or this feedback that you're giving me so that I can maintain my bullshit belief, what's much more powerful is to say, let me consider, let me be open-hearted and listen to what you have to say, because what you say might make me change my pre-held belief, which might in fact not be a good belief to hold, and that's how you grow. The reason Amber stayed I'm just repeating myself, but the reason Amber stayed the fucking same is because she cannot receive critique and she will not listen to other people, and listening to other people is so powerful and so important.
When they're like harsh and downright degrading, and it's just hard for me. Like, I'm taking medicine for my mental health. Like, my mental health has been so bad, genuinely, and I can't just take medicine and expect that to be like the only thing that I have to change. I have to continue the therapy. I have to block out the war. I use war as like a metaphor for just like the chaos, the toxicity, the bad things in my life. And I need to just like keep things that serve my mental health to be better. Is that even the right grammar? Do you understand?
I don't want to nitpick her too much because I get what she's saying here. She wants to focus on the positive things and the things that serve her, and I get that. But sometimes keeping all of your negative feelings and your negative emotions in a little box and not engaging with them holds you back from growth. I've also seen an interesting comment on a video where somebody says, it might even be on this video, somebody says something like, Amber, you need to learn the difference between negative emotions and mental health. And I think that's interesting. Yeah, not every emotion that you're feeling is a mental health issue. It might just be that you're sad that day, but that's a very difficult line to toe, so let me not get into that too much.
See what I'm saying? Out with the bad, in with the good is what I'm trying to say.
Hey Amber, I have 2 questions for you.
Okay.
So do you think that your mom's addiction may be a genetic...
Her mum again. Are we on a MamaLynn, an anti-MamaLynn campaign or something? Interesting that she's got another one about her mum, having had, 9 episodes where her mum was basically not mentioned in these questions. Now we've got 2 MamaLynn questions almost back to back. I'm curious why that's happened.
Disposition to your eating, like possibly addiction runs in the family, and that could be why you have a food addiction as well. Like your mom had a drug addiction, and I know, some of it is trauma-based, so it might be separate. And my second question is,
before we get to the second question, just to answer the first one, yes, I have an addictive personality, and I know that 2 out of my 3 brothers do as well. We all have an addiction, and mine happens to be food.
Do you feel that the financial reasons for not going inpatient isn't worth saving your life, or possibly saving your life, when you've utilized all your resources, basically?
So I definitely think it's worth it. I just genuinely don't have the money. It's like almost $250,000, and I don't have that.
Is that true? Can somebody comment below and tell me if that's true? Does inpatient cost $250,000? That doesn't sound right. That sounds like a lot. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Hey Queen, how
Christ.
is Twinkie doing?
She's really good. Thank you for asking. All right, you guys, now it is time for tea or tail. Amberlynn never checked up on her lungs years ago. That is not true. October 30th, 2022, CT scan results. Here we go.
Okay, you guys, so good news. I was thinking
The smug look on her fucking face just then. Did you see that smug ass look? Also, Amber, girl, we're in 2025. You're a well-paid YouTuber. Get a screen recorder. Christ on a bike. Look at this smug face that she makes when she shows evidence, and this is so strange to me. I will always be confused as an evidence-based girly, as an empiricist, as somebody who believes in believing what you believe because of facts and evidence and a reason. It always confuses me when Amber picks and chooses when she wants to provide evidence and when she doesn't want to. Which accusations is she going to prove with evidence, and which ones is she just going to say and leave us reaction channels to do the work and then find, oh wait, she was lying. This is very weird to me. But let's find out what evidence she's going to show us now.
my doctor for just listening to me through everything. Good news, the nodule isn't there. They think that I really did just have like pneumonia, because I did take 2 different types of antibiotics at the exact same time. And
no, but this is her, oh god, this is so frustrating. This is her showing that when she had the random collapsed lung thing, when it wasn't actually a collapsed lung, she went back and had it checked. And then when it was being checked, this was in 2022, so 3 years ago, they told her it's not a collapsed lung, it's actually walking pneumonia. So now you know it was walking pneumonia, off you go. And she then let, 3 years pass and didn't get checked in that time. And now she's saying that she still has the random lung thing that she had 3 years ago. What this comment is asking her is, why in those 3 years have you not had your lung checked? What she's showing right here is not evidence of her having her lung checked again. This is evidence of the initial diagnosis. So this is not her proving that she went back and had checkups on her lung. This is her proving, I had this initial diagnosis of walking pneumonia, and then in the 3 years since, the person is saying you haven't been checked up on. So she, every time she tries, maybe this is why she doesn't show evidence, every time she tries to do it, she misses the point the person is trying to make and shows evidence which doesn't actually support what she's saying. So interesting, so silly. And this smug face, man, not gonna lie, that smug face is really quite annoying.
So there it is. I definitely got it checked.
No,
Had multiple CT scans, and
no, that's not multiple CT scans. That was when you first got diagnosed. Is she being dumb on purpose? I feel like I'm being messed with.
that was the last one I got because they told me it's not there anymore. But now it's back.
Oh god, but she didn't say it was back. She said it never left.
I'm still having this really weird pain. I've been having just like this sharp left pain, and I feel it like down here, and like I was feeling it at one point like through my boob. I felt a little bit in my back, and I think about it, and it is reminiscent to a few years ago when I was getting CT scans on my lungs, and at first they were like, you could have lung cancer, and then it moved on to a blood clot, and then it moved on to a collapsed lung, and then it moved on to walking pneumonia. Like, I got my results back literally like a week ago, and I still have that weird thing that they saw last time.
But the way it's coming across to me is like she's purposefully misunderstood this person's point so that she can show evidence which does not in fact support her argument.
And when they did my lung CT scan and my heart CT scan, they did see it, like, because it's in the results, but they didn't mention it to me. So I just don't think it's something that they're worried about.
How would she know it's in the results? And she's assuming here that it's something that she thinks they're not worried about. Why haven't you asked? Why haven't you checked? This is weird, man.
No. Amberlynn's mom lies for her. So I don't know why anyone
Also,
would
hang
do
on a
that.
second, sorry. Why her mum again? I'm really starting to think that this is like a MamaLynn smear campaign or some kind of deflection or something. Why are we getting so much mum content all of a sudden? It's very weird.
And my mom sometimes will watch my videos and like scroll down to the comments, and she also saw other people saying that. I told my mom to stay out of the comments because they can be kind of harsh, because I don't want my mom to feel hurt. I don't want her to read bad things about herself. Like, it genuinely breaks my heart.
Hey guys, editing Rachel again. I said something else here in the video, but that bit was a bit stupid, so I've taken it out. I'm going to add myself here instead. What I want to ask is, if Amber knows that people will leave nasty comments about her mum if she mentions her mum, and that her mum might see these and be upset, why would she even bring her mum up, right? If you know that people will hear the stories that you've shared about your mum being a terrible mother, and you know that sometimes she reads the comments on your videos and that those might upset her, why on earth would she mention the story which she mentioned previously, which makes her mum look really bad? Surely that's like baiting people to leave horrible comments about MamaLynn. The logic here just seems a little bit strange to me.
We actually have had a conversation about this, and the very thing that my mom told me, like literally quoting her, "Why would I lie for you? I'm in recovery." And to me, it's such like a simple sentence, but it's like, it's deeper than that. My mom's recovery isn't just about drugs. It's not just about alcohol. It's about everything. It has like transformed her whole life. She makes sure to be a good person, and a good person wouldn't lie on YouTube.
This is a very strange argument, and my kind of rhetorically trained brain is like, this argument is definitely not valid or sound. But yeah, so what she's trying to say here basically is that her mum doesn't lie for her because her mum is in recovery, but she's in recovery from drugs and alcohol. And when people are in recovery, they're trying to be not only abstinent from whatever it is that they're recovering from, but they also have to be a really good person. And the only way that you can be a really good person is by not lying. Therefore, her mum, because she is in recovery, would not lie to protect Amber. But that is an extremely flawed argument, and I'm not going to fucking make you a semantic tree, but that's definitely not a valid or sound argument. You absolutely can be in recovery from a drug and still lie to protect your daughter. In fact, Amber has publicly said multiple times she feels that lies that she's told in order to protect people she loves are perfectly fine. So I do not buy this, not for 1 second.
Their daughter, especially over stupid shit. Insult me all you want, but like, don't insult my mom, please. Amberlynn is a hoarder. So the definition of a hoarder is someone who literally has like actual trouble and difficulty getting rid of possessions, no matter what type of value.
Oh my god, guys, my nose was running that whole time. If I'm editing and I can see snot dripping down my lip, I swear to fuck, I'm going to be so angry. Anyway, sorry.
And it makes it to where they have so many possessions that the clutter literally makes day-to-day life difficult. Not me.
That seems like she's asked ChatGPT. Well, I mean, there's no shame in asking ChatGPT to define things for you, but I love it when she uses like definitions of stuff that she's clearly got off the internet. I do it too. I just find it charming when she does it.
Not even remotely close. First of all, hate clutter. I do love a pillow on my couch. Don't come for me for that. But you guys, I'm getting
You're not hot. Sorry. Is that bad to say? You're not hot.
Rid of stuff constantly. Like, as I sit here, I have 5 boxes.
Wait, did she just say, sorry, I'm so late. Did she just say she's getting rid of stuff constantly? I feel like there's a clip in one of my videos. Can I be bothered to go back and find it is the question, where I say I'm constantly throwing stuff away, because I am. I hate, my girlfriend will tell you, like, I throw things away. And then I'm like, man, like the other day, Case in point, I was like, oh, I'm going to crimp my hair for this video so I have like waves. I think it'll be really funny. Went into my drawer. Did I have my crimpers? Did I fuck? I'd given them away because I can't stop getting rid of stuff. So I feel like Amber is absolutely coming for my brand and trying to be me, probably by accident. But also, I got mentioned in Amberlynn Reid's live stream the other day. Somebody asked her if she knew who I was and she goes, who's Rachel Reacts? So I am official, guys. I've made it in Girl World.
Thoughts on Rachel Reacts? Oh, who's that? Is that a new reaction channel?
Amber said my name out loud, so I'm here. I've made it.
Of stuff that my mom is gonna actually come get. Anything that I get rid of, my mom loves to keep, and it's just like so cute. She's like, it's my daughter's stuff. But like, I literally get rid of my stuff. I don't know. It's just so many people love to throw around the word hoarder when that's literally not even remotely close to who I am. Are you guys?
There's also, just to quickly say, there's also no moral value on being a hoarder. If you're a hoarder and you like owning lots of things, cool, do your thing, own your stuff, you know, it's your house, it's your belongings. If it's affecting the quality of your life, then that sucks and you should do something about it. But there's no inherent moral value about owning less belongings, in my opinion. Maybe you could argue that there is, because overconsumption is probably immoral. So actually, maybe this is me backtracking on what I just said. If you have loads of Stanley Cups, I'm not trying to judge you though, you do your thing. The intricacies of morality are always bending my brain.
For bad choices.
Woohoo, bad choices.
One.
I'm obsessed with watching her count these.
3, 4, 5.
Once I caught a fish alive.
Have you ever fooled around with someone on your parents' bed?
Oh my goodness, what a question. Has she ever done that? Is she going to say yes or no? I love trying to guess what she's going to say. I feel like it's probably going to be a yes. I haven't fooled around with anybody on my parents' bed, but I've fooled around in other people's parents' beds. Maybe I shouldn't say that.
Not on my parents' bed, no.
Same.
Would you rather have sex with one of your parents' best friends than smell like a bag of urine for a month?
It's so awkward when she answers questions that she has in fact done the thing. So like smelling like a bag of urine for a month. When she was living with Destiny and she didn't shower, she was described by Destiny as having swamp arse, which makes me think she probably has done one of these would you rathers.
I did not shower while living with her mother because I could not fit in the shower.
It always just weirds me out when she answers these sex questions, but whatever.
What is this question?
Well, I don't know, but if you don't know what it is, why have you included it on your channel? You're free to just fucking skip it, you know? Or you could even, girl, you could throw the cards away and become an exercise channel. Like, you can do whatever you want. You could go out and buy a load of fucking scented candles and sniff them all and give us scented candle reviews. You can become any kind of channel you want. You can make any kind of content you want. Don't be stuck into this trick of, because you've done this once or twice, you now have to do it. Just take that card, put it to one side and don't answer it. Like, you're not constrained by your own format. You created the format, and I find it so fascinating when she acts like she didn't, you know? It's her choice what she makes.
Smell like a bag of urine for a month and just not leave my house. How about that?
Yeah, we've been there.
Have you ever told someone you love them just to have sex with them? No, but I've had that happen to me. Have you ever tried to finger your own butt? No.
What is it with the butt fingering? What the hell? Also, she's saying no. I'm not sure what to say right now. I think I'm going to keep it clean, but yeah, I don't know. Let's just let her carry on.
No, absolutely not. For $1 million, would you eat a live cockroach that randomly appears inside your mouth once a day for the rest of your life? Nope. Nope. Nope.
All you have to do is eat a bug once a day for the rest of your life is kind of disgusting. But that's only disgusting to us because of our westernized culture. There are lots and lots of cultures in other parts of the world that eat bugs constantly all the time. There are people who live off bugs, or where bugs is a huge part of the protein portion of that country's diet. It's just funny, isn't it? Our kind of different cultures and how they form the way that we think of things. I find it fascinating. Anyway.
Nope. Nope. That just made me sick. No money is worth eating a cockroach every single day. That is so gross. Anyways, you guys, I hope that you did enjoy it, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Bye. How fascinating. Well, that was fun. We've been filming for 1 hour and 18 minutes. So I'm going to do my best to chop this down because an hour and 18 minutes from a 13-minute video is a little bit crazy, even for me. Oh, Christ. Amberlynn Reid, the love of my life. She really is a special sausage. Let me know if you can be asked to watch me react to that vlog. I did actually film a reaction, but the audio was fucked, so I ended up not being able to use it. It was kind of annoying. I wonder if there's going to be any further content where she talks about her mum, because I feel like that was a little bit MamaLynn heavy, and I'm very curious where that was coming from and why she's done that. I wonder if she's trying to distract from something. Anyway, I'll leave that there. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys thought of that video. As ever, I appreciate your time and your support. I truly do. And thank you so much for watching. I will see you guys next time. Bye. I just know that that fucking audio is going to piss me off in editing. I can feel it coming, that I'm going to get angry with myself for filming while it was making that stupid noise. Anyway, what are you going to do? Okay, bye.